Incremental greetings. You might remember that a while ago I did a video about how repetitions are actually counted. And related to that is how repetitions is actually represented, which is not the same thing. And to your surprise, or perhaps not surprise, it's not that intuitive how SuperMemo says, hey, this element has this many repetitions, which is not necessarily the amount of repetitions you have done. Let's look into that. In the element window, you have priority, and you have how many repetitions you have done. In this case, it's quite massive, 77 reps. It's a topic. Cool. That's because it's a summary, so I just do one of a few each repetition, and this will take a few hundred. It's 77, so if today I do the rep, now I have 78. It goes and accumulates. But that doesn't mean is how many repetitions you have done. Is how many repetitions you have done until the last lapse or since the start. In this case, it's weird because it's a topic. You cannot lapse a topic. But you can do something like reset or dismiss or forget. So many different things. So what will happen if I do this? I dismiss it. Whoops! 0 reps. How is that even possible? Because I have all of those repetitions here, but it's not taking into account because it starts until it has been reset. Usually, if it's an item, it will be reset because of a lapse, but topics can also be reset as items. I can reset by dismissing, for instance, and now I can memorize it again. Learning and remember. And here now I have 1 rep, which is the automatic rep. Here you go. Or in this case it's topic, repetition, and the future. So what happens if it's an item? Let's check that. So now I will filter. So that's a good example. It says 3 reps and 3 in parentheses. That means the memory lapses I did. So you may be thinking, oh, how many reps I did? 3. I did more than 3. I did 8. But it only takes into account from the last failure or since the start. That means that if I never lapse a card, an item, the number of repetitions displayed is the number of reps overall I did. But if I lapse it, it will be the amount of repetitions since last lapse, memory lapse. So since I lapse it, I have 2 ratings of 3, and the next one, the future. Then why should you care about this detail? Because now, remember, I have reset the topic with 70-something repetitions. So now what will going to happen is that if I use the filter, and I want repetitions to be over 66 for topics, what's going to happen? Hey, it's not found. Why? Because even if there are 77 repetitions, I have reset it by dismissing it and then memorize, set remember. So therefore now I only have what? Let me search for it. Now I only have 1 rep. So take this into account, especially for items that you have quite a lot of repetitions, or topics like this that I do keep in my collection as a very high priority. Not now, because of the dismissing it, has decreased the priority to the lowest. Look at the priority before, it was super high. So if you use topics like this, that you will have many repetitions, you want to filter those, so keep this in mind, especially for items. If you want to do a subset of how many repetitions, then hey, repetitions since last labs. So therefore, instead of how many repetitions, like let's put 10, and I only want items. Let's see what pops. Pops up. Okay, 100 and something. I can't believe that's super easy. I can't believe I lapsed this card. Single page of information stored in SuperMemo. An element. Obviously. How I could forget that at the beginning. Oh my god. In this case, yeah, I still have 12 reps instead of 15 because the lapses were at the very beginning. Let me check another example. That's a better example. So in this case, I have 8 repetitions, 9th being the future, but overall it's the 21st. So as a user, I cannot search, I cannot filter by the overall amount of repetitions I have done in an item. Unlike in Anki, you can do it with total reps. So if that's the case, the take-home message is that in case you want to filter, keep in mind, don't take the amount of repetitions as an absolute value. If you want the highest amount of reps, because you may assume it's the items you have done the most repetitions in them, it's unlikely. Because if you do more repetitions, it's almost a golden rule, it's because you have lapsed them. Therefore, you have done more reps. It's a requisite to do more than 20 repetitions on an item. So therefore, instead of having here 20-something repetitions, no, just decrease it and add the laps here, the laps count, because that will be more meaningful. Because how SuperMemo works, that only shows how many reps until the last laps. You have, how many times you have lapsed? 5. And since the last one is the 8th repetition. How many I did? I don't know. Unless I go to the history, and then I will know. So I hope this detail has been useful for you, and see you incrementally.